Well, welcome along to the Paul Miller Show for a Wednesday from the BBC in the South and, of course, around the world at bbc.co.uk. The big show in the evening, as somebody described it the other day, and very nice too. Now then, all systems go for the next 3 hours. Lots of goodies to squeeze in. As always, we should be having some fun and games on the phones. We've got a stack of tunes. Neil will keep us up to date with news and weather. He'll be in at 11 and 12. He may be in at some other times as well if I unlock the door. We'll have to wait and see. And, of course, we've got a few dedications, this, that and the other. Anything else that we fancy, but that's all to come later. In the first hour of the programme, and for the final week, we've got our taxi competition. Oh, yeah. This is where we ask you to try and work out who a famous person is by looking at 3 questions. Those 3 questions will give you 3 answers, surprise, surprise, and the answers relate or lead to a famous person, okay? It could not be simpler. Oh, would you believe it? Here comes the taxi now. Right on cue as always. Famous person in here. Out they get. Oh, recognise those shoes. Interesting piece in the paper today, by the way. Apparently, you know the what I call a traditional black taxi. I mean, maybe that's a bit of a biased thing to say, being a London, but you know, sort of a London taxi, as I would describe it as. Apparently, they're selling more of them than ever before. There was a piece in one of the newspapers, maybe in the Daily Mail, I can't remember, and they've sold so many hundreds more of them than they normally would. And the company that makes them has had to increase its output. I think they said they had sold about 700 in the first couple of months of the year or something. There's a new design. It's turned out to be very, very successful. I like black cabs. I like taxis. Maybe I thought at one stage it'd be a nice thing for me to have to replace my vehicle, you know. You can just see me going up and down the motorway in a taxi. What do you reckon? Be good, wouldn't it? Yeah. Makes a change from a recovery vehicle, but there you go. Such is life. So, how do we get to this famous person? Well, as always, we've got the 3 questions here that need to be answered. You don't have to have a go at all 3 of them. You just go for the one that you would like to. Maybe you like anagrams. We've got an anagram first up. We've also got a mystery tune. Got to work out the song after hearing just a little tiny snippet of it. Or for number 3, a what am I, when you've got to try and identify an object based on the clue that I give. And even though we've been doing this competition for weeks and weeks, I say every night, because people still get confused, you don't have to have a go at all 3. You go for whichever one you want. And then when we start to get some answers, it is the answers that relate or link to a famous person. And the first person to identify that famous person will get one of my bugs. Okay, so that's how it works. Let's get it cracking. Let's see if we can get some answers nice and quickly tonight. Starting with the anagram, and as always, this turned into a person, a place, an expression, a phrase, something like that. The anagram is, and I will spell the words, try a random hickory. Well, it is 2007. Try a random hickory. Try, T-R-Y, A, the letter A, random, R-A-N-D-O-M, and hickory, H-I-C-K-O-R-Y, as in Dickory Dock. Okay, try a random hickory. That is the anagram. Get unscrambling that. Number 2 is our ever so popular mystery tune. I'm going to play you a tiny clip of a song. You've just got to tell us what the song is and who it is by. And we must have both bits, because the clue may be in the title, it may be in the artist. All right? So here it comes then. What and who is this? Oh, it's one of those. If you think you know, I'll give you the contact numbers in just a sec. And finally, for number 3, it's a what am I? What could this object be? Some people come here a lot, some very rarely, or just some rarely. Some people come here a lot, some rarely. That is the what am I. So there are the 3 questions. We just need some answers now.
Call BBC Radio Kent 08459 811111.
Have a wild guess. You never know, the answer that you've got lurking around in your mind may be the correct one. And you could be winning some nice prizes. We'll have to wait and see. So the text, as always, is up and running. 07786 200 961. That's 07786 200 961. Email Paul Miller Show, that's all one word, Paul Miller Show at bbc.co.uk. So run through them again for you very quickly. The anagram tonight, try a random hickory. Try a random hickory. That'll give you something else. Then, of course, there's tune. Well-known song. We need to know the title and the artist, if you think you know. And for number 3, what am I? Some people come here a lot, some rarely. Bless her. It's 17 minutes past 10. It's the Paul Miller Show from the BBC in the South. We're around the world at bbc.co.uk. So the competition is up and running. Just a few more of our taxis, because we're only running this till the end of the week. As you know, our competitions only run for sort of 5 or 6 weeks or so, and then we move on to something else, and we'll be doing that on Monday. So if you want to be in with a chance of winning one of my bugs, then you better get on that phone, email or the text tonight, and see how you do with tonight. We've got the anagram, try a random hickory. That turns into an anagram, turns into a phrase, an expression, a place, a person, or something else. The music is that. We want to know what and who. And then for number 3, what am I? Some people come here a lot, some rarely. Pick up the phone, you can give us a ring. The text is 07786 200 961. I must wish Wendy from Farnham a very happy birthday, 29 today. Paul, I've had a lovely day, and I'm now in bed with you. Shh, Wendy. One has reputation to consider. Glad you had a good day. Brilliant. And also Dee from Hove says, thanks for the Hall & Oates track, made my day. So I've had a really busy one, and I'm just unwinding, no problemo. And also hi to Adrian as well in Winchester, who says, mention please for my wife Lillian. We heard today that we are expecting our first child. Would you please tell her I love her very, very much indeed? I most certainly will. And lots of love and congratulations to both of you. And I hope that it all goes very, very well. Isn't that good news? Isn't that nice? Yeah, absolutely. Straight to those phones. Let's get some answers to this competition. Fingers crossed, some right ones. Alec is first up tonight from Reading. Hello, Alec.
Hi, Paul. How are you?
Fine. How are you?
Good, thanks.
You had a good day?
Yeah, not too bad.
Are you back at work? Or
well, I'm actually at work. I'm a carer for a gentleman here in Reading.
All right, so you're sort of working all the time, almost.
Yeah, so he's in the other room listening to the radio.
Give him a mention. What's his name?
Alan.
Hi, Alan. He's tuned in now.
Yes, he is. I won't be able to see him, though, because I'm in the other room.
No, that's absolutely fine. I'm sure you'll hear him. Well, that was really speedy onto the phone, so you've obviously got a good idea for one of these, my friends.
I hope so, actually. I was thinking it could be Madonna's Beautiful Stranger.
This is the tune, yeah, number 2.
Yes.
Madonna's Beautiful Stranger. Interesting, actually, because Martin from Albury on the text also thinks that that is what it is.
Okay.
And also Lizzie, who is in Worthing, and I've also got Simon, who is in... I don't know where that is. Simon also agrees as well.
Okay, so...
Sounds like it. But it's wrong. It's not the one.
Oh, well, at least we tried.
Yeah, and it really does sound like it, doesn't it?
It does, actually.
Yeah, it does. You're a Madonna fan. Do you like Madonna?
Well, I suppose, I listen to her songs, yeah.
I mean, she's gone through many sort of guises, hasn't she? I mean, when she started out, she was quite poppy. And then she sort of went through what some people refer to as the weird patch, when she did some unusual stuff, and now she's gone back to her sort of dancey roots again.
Well, I suppose she's adapted quite well through the years.
Yeah, I think so. As Madge gets older, bless her, she's still doing well. She'll be the next Shirley Bassey, probably. We shall see.
Oh, gosh.
Alex, sorry, it's not the right answer.
No, that's fine.
But it's good to speak to you. Thanks for your call.
Thanks for the programme. Bye-bye.
Take care. Bye-bye now.
Bye.
Bye-bye. There you go. There's Alec from Reading. No. I can see where you're coming from, though. It does sound like Beautiful Stranger. It really does. To Borden now, we'll speak to Nick. Hello, Nick.
Hi there.
Hi, how are you?
Yes, very well, thank you. Yourself?
Yeah, we're always very well around here.
Good,
Are
good.
you working? Are you at home or what?
I'm on my way home from work, actually. I just finished about 20 minutes ago.
Yeah, that's the best place to be going home, isn't it? It's a great feeling when you get in the car and you know next port of call is home.
Home with a nice cup of tea and the feet up.
Ah, that sounds good to me. Yeah. So what time do you start again tomorrow?
I'm in at 6:30 tomorrow.
When the morning?
Yeah, the joys of being in the catering trade, I'm afraid.
Oh, catering. What do you do?
I am a head chef of
Woo!
the Manor Conference Centre in Godalming.
We get all the classy people on this programme. No egg and bacon with you, my friend, obviously.
No, sorry.
So what sort of stuff do you cook? I suppose it varies depending on what the conference is and who's in there.
Yes, it very much varies. Obviously, we do breakfast, which is your standard breakfast wherever you go, really.
Uh-huh.
But come the evening, we do a lot of fine dining and things like that.
Do you enjoy it?
No, I love it. It's a passion, is catering. You have to be passionate about it because it's so hard.
It's interesting because after the news at 11, we're going to be talking about people who've got a job that they can sometimes take home with them. And, you know, for example, if you're a plumber, do you go home and retile the bathroom or whatever? And this sort of ties in with what you do for a living. So do you cook exotic things at home, Nick, or do you cook wonderful things throughout the day and go home to boil in the bag or something like that?
It really depends on the mood. I mean, when I get home, I'm a big fan of a bacon and cheese sandwich, something like that.
Sounds good to me.
Cooking all day, you don't really feel like cooking when you get home in the evening.
No, I suppose you don't.
Unlike a tiler or something, he doesn't have to tile when he gets home, but unfortunately we all have to eat.
You've all got to eat. Yeah. And if people are invited round to your house, do they expect you to have cooked something exotic, whether it be a snack or whatever?
I think so, so they're slightly disappointed when they get the girlfriend's beans on toast.
But is the girlfriend disappointed, though, when you give her Nick's beans on toast?
No, she's always grateful.
She's all good. You've got to say that in case she's listening, otherwise you could be in big trouble. Nick, which one are you going for, my friend, on the competition?
The last one you read out.
Yes, some people come here a lot, some rarely.
Yes, now I thought it was a church.
A church. Because, some people go there an awful lot. Some people hardly ever go. Some people just go for sort of weddings and things like that. Church is good. A couple of other people agree with you. Selzy Jill on the text thinks it could be a church as well. We've also got Barry Morris from Fleet's gone for a churchyard, which is virtually the same thing. Church from Angela in Stenning. And also Margaret, who is in Worthing, has gone for a church too. Oh, and Chris from Sompting, I can see on the text, just come through with a church. It's good, but it's not good enough.
No.
Not the one. Sorry,
Never mind.
Nick, not to worry. Get yourself home, get those feet up and get that tea brewing.
Thank you very much.
Take good care, all the best.
Thank you, good night.
Bye-bye now, bye-bye. There is Nick from Borden with the church. Sadly, it is not. Lynn's in Ryde. Hello, Lynn.
It's Liam, by the way.
It's what, sorry?
Liam.
Oh, Liam.
Yeah.
I've got Lynn here. Oh, there's a big difference between Lynn and Liam. He just can't spell next door. That's what it is. Sorry about that, Liam. How are you? Are you well? Hello. Hello. Earth to Liam. Can you not hear me very well?
No.
I didn't think you could, 'cause you're coming and going as well. Which I think are you on a mobile phone?
Yeah.
That may be having something to do with it. Have you not got a very good signal?
No, I don't think so.
Oh, maybe that's the reason, which is a shame, really. Which one are you going for, Liam, on the competition?
Number 3.
You're going for number 3 as well, and what do you think the answer is?
I think it might be pub.
A pub. A pub. Fits. Some people go there every day. Some people, like me, very rarely. Believe that, you believe anything. It is wrong, I'm afraid.
Alright.
Not the one. Sorry about that, Liam.
Alright.
Sorry we had problems talking to you as well, but you take good care and I'll speak to you again soon.
Okay.
Bye-bye now. Bye-bye. Oh, we pay for that, mobile phones. You pay for those miserable signals. Never mind. On the text, 07786 200 961. For this number 3, some people come here a lot, some rarely. Sue from Wimbledon says, could it be a gym that you're looking for? Nope, it is not. A dentist from Mark in Ferndown. Swimming pool from Nora in Bittern Park. Julie from Didcot, hiya Julie, has also gone for a gym as well. We've got a couple more Jims. Brian in Oxford, Adrian in Southampton, and also Peter in Colnbrook. But no, it's not. Babs on the Isle of Wight thought it could be a church, a game. Cinema from Gwen in Bognor. And Nora's covered another great guess here as well. Says, Paul, could number 3 be the Red Lion? You can see how our mind works, can't you? Clearly. Sorry, Sheila in Bracknell, not the church, as we discovered just now. Theatre from Faith in Dibden is wrong. Nick in Christchurch, the Bookies, because some people only visit there on Grand National Days and that sort of thing. Sadly, no, it is not. A sports stadium, that's Graham in Dartford's suggestion. Nice one, but not the one we're looking for. And we've also got another swimming pool come here from Peter, who doesn't say where he is. No, it's not. Some people come here a lot, some rarely. What do you think? Maybe you'd rather have a go at the tune, which sounds like that. We need to know the artist and the title. Because as always, the clue could be in one or the other. Or maybe it's number 1 for you if you're good with your words. It's an anagram. Try a random hickory. Try a random hickory. Unscramble that lot and it'll give you a phrase, an expression, a place, a person or something similar.
Call BBC Radio Kent 08459 811111.
On the text 07786 200 961, email paulmillershow@bbc.co.uk. Now then, some more guesses coming through for this number 3 here. That one really seems to have taken your your interest tonight. It's the most popular one, second to the music as always. So some people come here a lot, some rarely. Jason from Newington thinks it could be The Doctors. We've also got Elaine from Hertfordshire with The Doctors as well. Adrian in Oxford with The Doctors. Kathy from Copner too. And also Stephanie, who doesn't say where she is. And also Maud from Hove. So I think number 3 is The Doctors. I can tell you it is not The Doctors. But it's a move in the right direction because Bob from Petersfield has come up with the right answer. Remember, no prizes at this stage, I'm afraid. Rob has got the right answer. Also, Angela in Weymouth has got the right answer as well. And so has Joy from Rye. I can tell you that number 3, and also Rebecca as well. Rebecca Harrington just come through on the email. Number 3 is not a doctor's, but a hospital. A hospital. Some people come here a lot, some rarely, is a hospital. So that is your first clue. So number 3 is sorted. So all we're interested in now is number 1, number 2, and ultimately the person, the famous person. Who do you think that person could be? This tune would help, wouldn't it? Yeah, do you know what it is? What does it sound like? It's a good example of a song where they don't actually say Young Turks anywhere in the lyrics, as we discussed on this programme some time ago. But there's another story. It's 25 to 11. Paul Miller Show from the BBC in the South. We are around the world at bbc.co.uk. The taxi competition coming along very nicely indeed, because we have number 3 sorted already, which is great. The What Am I? Some people come here a lot, some rarely. We now know the answer is a hospital. Okay. So number 1, the anagram, try a random hickory. If you can understand that, get that unscrambled, make life easier. And also if we could sort out this tune as well. Really well-known song, What and Who. Let's go to Northwood, speak to Ian. Hello, Ian.
Hi, Paul.
How are you?
Not bad, thanks.
Good.
A good day, just been pottering about and...
You like pottery days, do you?
I do, yes. I don't work anymore, so just pottering about and...
oh, I like the sound of that.
One thing and another.
Potter by day, feet up by night, yeah?
Yeah. Well, I try and keep busy all the time, really.
Keep you out of mischief.
Keep me out of... Well, you've got to do that, yeah.
Now, you're feeling a little optimistic tonight about this song, I understand.
Yeah.
What do you think it is?
It sounds like Beatles to me. I'm going to say Day Tripper,
Right.
Beatles.
The Beatles and Day Tripper. And are you feeling very confident?
Not now, no.
Oh, I put the doubt into you.
Yeah.
I'm afraid it's wrong.
Oh, well.
Not
Sounds
to-
like that last riff in Day Tripper.
Yeah. No, I agree it does.
Actually, I do know what it is now.
Ooh, well, you should have said that one first.
Yeah, I won't now.
Never mind, not to worry. It's all a bit of fun. You take care of yourself.
And you.
Speak to you soon.
Bye.
Bye-bye, Ian. Bye-bye. Ian from Northwood, The Beatles and Day Tripper is wrong. Wrong. We've also got Ray of Light by Madonna from Robin Marchwood. No. I've also got Good Enough by Dodgy from Lee in Eastbourne. That is not the one that we're looking for either. Kirsty McCall with New England from Sandra in Horsham. Hiya, Sandra. Sadly not. Small Faces, says Colin on the M4 with Itchy Park. Nope. Speed of Sound by Coldplay from James in Bembridge. I can see where you're coming from there as well. It does sound like it. And I've also got All or Nothing by Small Faces from Mark Harris, who's at work in Basingstoke at the moment. He said, Paul, trying to keep awake. Thanks for the show. Not a problem. Nice to have you there. Take good care of yourself. Keep yourself awake. What is this song? It'll make life a lot easier, I'm sure. Let's speak to Neil in Lower Early. Hello, Neil.
Hello, Paul. How are you?
Very well indeed. How are you?
Fine, mate, fine.
Good. Where are you?
I'm actually, without giving anything away,
Yeah.
we Crowthorne and Reading at the moment.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Right, are you just starting halfway through, or are you just finishing?
No. Been going 4 hours now, 4.5 hours.
Oh, so there's plenty more to do.
Yeah, plenty more to do.
Not to worry, not to worry.
Yeah.
You're going to have a go at the song as well, yeah?
Well, that's right. When I first heard it, I thought, like the gentleman there, it was A Day in the Life. But listening to that riff, I thought, no, it can't be that. And singing it away in my head, and I thought, oh, that's it, I've got it. And I thought, it's the Beatles, definitely.
Yep.
And A Day in the Life.
A Day in the Life.
Yeah.
Definitely, says Neil.
Yeah, go on, tell me he's nuts.
Neil, it is not.
Oh, very, very much like it, Paul.
It is. No, I agree with you entirely. But no, it is not. When you do find out what it is, you probably will kick yourself, though.
Probably, yeah.
Because when you hear a little bit more of it, suddenly it just all fits into place. But it does sound very much like what you're saying. I agree.
I was thinking, like, because I thought the actual What Am I was a museum, and I was thinking, like, somebody, a naturalist like Bill Oddie or somebody, Tony Robinson does the Time Team or something like that.
Oh, yeah.
And when he come up with the hospital, I thought, no, it's neither of those two.
No, I'm afraid it is not the one.
Yeah.
But not to worry.
However, yeah.
It's good to speak, though.
Yeah, and you, mate.
You take good care on those roads.
And keep up the good work, mate.
Bless your heart, and we'll speak to you soon.
Get out, mate.
Bye-bye now, bye-bye. No. Lots of people going for Beatles songs, by the way. I've got Yellow Submarine from Angie in Oxford. Hi, Angie. Thanks for your nice comments. We've also got Doreen in Maidstone, who also thought that it was a Beatles song as well. She's going for Get Back. She's put, it sounds like the bit at the beginning. Yep, I know where you're coming from, but no, it is not. And also Martin as well is going to have a go. Here's in Windsor. He says, I'm sure that song is, and funnily enough, Bob from Reading agrees with you here as well, thinks it's Jimi Hendrix, All Along the Watchtower. Whoa, what a song. Sadly, though, not the one. No, it is not. We've got Ticket to Ride from Marge, who is in Dymchurch. We've got Tired of Waiting by the Kinks from Phil in Highcliffe. That is wrong as well. So let's see what Paul in Maidstone thinks. Hello, Paul.
Oh, hi, good evening. How you doing?
Very well. Yourself?
Yeah, not so bad, thank you.
Good.
Not so bad.
You're going to have a go at this tune as well?
Yeah, well, I'm pretty confident that it's The Who.
Right.
And I just cannot work out what it is. So your producer guy there asked me to between two, and I think it's got to be My Generation, but it's probably wrong. But I'm pretty confident it's The Who.
Okay. Isn't that annoying when you think you know the artist and you just got to think of a song and you don't know which one to go for?
Well, it was your music putting me off, so I kept trying to sing it afterwards, and I was trying to hum it and thinking, because it's the ending. It's definitely the ending of a Who song. Can you tell me I'm partly right if off air if I'm right?
Well, I'll tell you this first. Your overall answer is wrong.
I'm right, okay.
But
Yeah.
I am going to tell you, because we have got a right answer here on the text, I am going to tell you now, though, that you've got the right artist.
Right, okay.
It is The Who.
Right, okay.
So bearing in mind, you know, there are no prizes at this stage anyway, but we now know that it's not My Generation. What would your other guess have been? What was the other one you were sort of like, you know, tied with?
Who are you?
Right. Scania Man from Thatcham is the only person to have it right. Come through on the text. It is... Are you ready to hear this?
Come.
Are you ready to say, oh no?
Yeah.
Because you will kick yourself. Here's the clip again. And this is what it is.
Pinball Wizard.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, well, that's satisfied my curiosity before I go to bed.
I don't want you having any nightmares or waking up in the middle of the night shouting out Who numbers. So we got that one sorted. Good to speak to you tonight, Paul.
Thanks very much.
Thanks for your call.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye now, bye-bye. There is Paul from Maidstone. So the answer, Scania Man in Thatcham, well done to you. We do now know what the song is. It is The Who and Pinball Wizard. So we're getting there now. It is all systems go. So who is in the cab then? Roy from Cranley says, could it be Florence Nightingale? Nope. Billy from Reading says, could it be Rolf Harris? Nope. Norman from Tunbridge says, could it be Wendy Craig? A Mother Makes Five? Nope. And also we've got Jason from Worthing. Says, Paul, I'm thinking you're looking for the Prime Minister this evening as the overall answer, but I don't know why. It's interesting. Chris from Sompting, Rolf Harris, that is wrong, by the way. Omar Sharif from Alison in Bexhill. Yeah, Alison, you dream on. Neil from the Isle of Wight. Is he the person in your taxi, Neil Tennant? Nope, it is not. Sid James from Yvonne in Millbrook. What else have we got here? Peter Pan from D in Hove. This is clever. She says, because with the connection with number 3 being hospital, could it be Peter Bedpan? No, it's not. No, it's not. Another David Tennant from Sue in Wimbledon. I love that. It's brilliant. And I've also got Charlotte Church as the overall answer. Maureen in Poole has come up with that one. No, it is not. And could it be Martin Clunis? Says Elaine from Hertfordshire. I can tell you... No. Paul Miller Show, 12 minutes to 11. It's the BBC in the South. We're around the world at bbc.co.uk. Competition's looking good. It's getting quite exciting now because we've got 2 clues sorted. We know that number 2 is Pinball Wizard by The Who. And we know that number 3 for the What Am I is a hospital. So if we can sort out the anagram, maybe we can work out who ultimately the person is, the famous person is in the cab tonight. Let's see if Raymond in Southampton can help us. Hello, Raymond.
Hello, Paul.
How are you?
Fine, thanks.
Jolly good. Good day today. Enjoying the sunshine.
Yeah, it's okay, yeah.
Apparently it's going to break at the weekend, though, I heard today.
Is that right?
And there could be some rain Sunday. Oh, no, Monday, I think they said there could be some heavy rain.
Can I just mention I'm a gardener? I'd be pleased to see a drop.
You could do with a bit of moisture, could you?
Yeah.
We're never pleased, are we? We get a few days of sunshine. What we want is rain by night, sunshine by day. Be very nice, wouldn't it? Yeah. Would make a lot of difference. You're going to have a go at this anagram, are you?
Yeah, I am, yeah.
What do you think it is?
I think it's any Tom, Dick or Harry.
Any Tom, Dick or Harry. Right. Interesting one. Sylvia from Weybridge thinks that it's that as well. And also another Sylvia, I don't think it's the same one, from Shepperton has gone for Tom, Dick or Harry too. And I can tell you now, it is a right answer.
I haven't the foggiest who the person is.
I'm sure that now you've come up with that one, though, Ray. It'll help somebody else. So that's good. Getting that anagram out the way was a really, really... It was an important one. So it's good that we've got there. It's great. Thank you very much for calling.
Right, you up, Paul.
Good to speak to you. Take good care.
First time on, by the way.
Hey, the Virgin Raymond. I'll speak to you again, hopefully.
Okay, then. There. Thanks.
Bye-bye now. Bye-bye. There is Raymond from Southampton. Let's go to... So obviously now we're looking ultimately for the person. Any Tom, Dick or Harry, Pinball Wizard by The Who, and a hospital lead you to a famous person. Who's that person, mate? Barbara's in Waterlooville. Hi, Barbara.
Hi there, Paul.
How are you?
Oh, bearing up, you know.
It's got to be done. It's got to be done.
Yep.
Joe Neil came in with a cream egg a short while ago. I didn't refuse. I don't like to be rude.
No.
So I shall have to force that down before 1 o'clock, just to be polite. You know what it's like, don't you?
Well, I was going to have a piece of Easter egg tonight, but somebody phoned me and I didn't get round to it, and it's a bit late now, actually.
But the night is but young. The night is young.
I know, but I can't... Well, I'm going to bed in a minute with you, so,
Shh.
I can't eat chocolate.
Don't tell everybody. Don't tell everybody. You know what it's like? That'll be my reputation out the window.
Well, what about mine?
And they'll all be talking about you down the laundrette. Gee whiz.
Well, they do that when they hear the gate go at night when you come round with the oils.
Do they?
Yeah, they keep saying...
had no idea.
Your gate last night.
Barbara, maybe I should stick some of my oils on your squeaky gate.
Well, yeah, maybe that's a good idea.
Yeah, that's what I need to do. That's what I need to do. Get a drop of me old ylang around your spring.
Do you know, I think if there's an advert on at the moment, they keep talking about ylang and something on one of the adverts.
Do they?
Yeah.
It's good stuff.
I keep thinking of you every time I hear it.
It's a very good, what, herb oil, whatever you like to call it. But you do have to be careful with it, though, because if you... It's a very sweet, sort of like vanilla-y type smell that it has. And if you smell too much of it, it can make you a bit lightheaded.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah, it's good stuff. I'm still trying to find out whether you can drink it or not, you know. But I don't think you can. So I've just got my head over the bowl with the towel, you know, breathing in deep. I always come away singing on Mother Kelly's doorstep, which is obviously doing some good for me, but there you go. Barbara, you're going to have a go at this person, bearing in mind all 3 clues are out now.
Right. Well, I think this is his name. I'm not 100% certain.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to say the young man who plays Harry Potter, and I think it's Daniel Radcliffe.
Daniel Radcliffe, yes, that's the one.
Yep.
Okay. Right. We've got a Harry in number 1 for the Harry Potters. That fits, don't we? Mandy sent me a text and thinks the same as you.
Right.
I've also got a couple of other people agreeing with you as well. We've got Elaine in Hertfordshire has gone for Mr. Radcliffe. We've also got Steve, who is in Oxford, who is going for Daniel Radcliffe as well. And I love this one come through here from Barbara in Windsor. She says, Paul, the bloke who played Harry, who got him off recently on stage. Yeah, she means Daniel Radcliffe.
Are you sure that's not Barbara Windsor?
It might be. You never know. Let me tell you, you're wrong.
Oh.
It's not the right answer. But I can see where you're coming from because it all fits together. But
Yes,
it's
and the
not
wizard as
one.
well.
I know. Never mind. Back to the old ylang.
Yep.
You take care, my sweet.
And you, Paul.
Speak to you soon.
Okay.
Bye now. Bye.
Bye-bye.
No. And also Sandra in Horsham just came through with Daniel Radcliffe in the last couple of minutes too. That is not the answer we're looking for. So that has really put a spanner in the works. 6 minutes to 11. Let's go to Steve, who's in Eastleigh. Hello, Steve.
Hello, Paul.
How's the world treating you?
Not too bad. With, pretty good. I've a long time listening to your show, but the first time I've actually spoken to you.
Hey, well, it's nice to have you there. Very nice
But,
indeed.
I work sort of semi-evening, so I listen to you every evening. But occasionally I put in, but I think I've got the right answer this time.
So you're feeling confident, beginner's luck and that sort of thing.
Something like that, yeah.
Does it help now we've got all 3 answers out? Possibly
Very much
it
so,
does.
yeah. I got them after the second one with my wife's help.
Okay.
Sitting listening there.
What's your wife's name?
Anne.
Hi, Anne. Are you all right, my love? Yes, thank you. Good. And if you've got the right answer, don't you let him bask in the glory, because you'll be half responsible as well. What do you think, or who do you think this person is, Steve?
I think it's Tom Baker.
Tom Baker. Tom Baker.
Probably one of the best Doctor Who's there's been, I think.
Right. Alison from Bexhill agrees with you. Alison in Rochester agrees with you as well. Anne in Thatcham also thinks it could be Tom Baker. Rachel from Heathfield. Big Bad Colin driving the truck. Sue in Wimbledon. Rosie in Gillingham. Julian Didcott. Peter in Southampton. And a couple of others. Is it right? Yes, it is. Yes, it is Tom Baker. We've got the Tom, Dick or Harry. Of course, it was the Tom we wanted there. And then, of course, we've got the Who. Well, we wanted Who because he played the part of Doctor Who. And then, of course, in a hospital, which is number 3, what do you have in hospitals? Doctors. So you've got Doctor Who and Tom. Tom Baker it was. Well done to you. Well done to you as well, Anne.
Yep.
Stay on the line, Steve. I shall hand you back to Neil. We'll get your details, and one of my last remaining bugs will be in the post to you ASAP.
Thanks very much, Paul.
Lovely to
It'll be
speak
the
to you.
second bug I've got, actually, so I'm going to give this one to Anne because she helped me out.
Yeah, of course you can. That's not a problem. Not a problem at all. I'll hand you back to Neil.
All right, thanks very much.
Bye-bye now. Bye-bye. There you go. Steve in Eastleigh, well done to him. He had the right answer. Of course, only the first person who gets the answer right is the winner. I have to say that if it wasn't for Steve in Eastleigh, it would have been Lorraine, who's listening online in North Dakota. Oh, rats, and only came through at the last minute. What a shame, but never mind. Jacob Ruddock also had the right answer in Grays, but again was too late. And a couple of other quickies as well. A lot of people went for Doctor Who as being the ultimate person. In fact, that was the most popular guess, but that is wrong because we weren't looking for Doctor Who, we were looking for Tom Baker, and it's not the same thing, obviously. Neil on the Isle of Wight had Tom Baker, and also Scott, who is listening online in York. So well done to you all. We shall do it again tomorrow. And as I said, of course, the final week of our taxi competition, so the penultimate chance to win tomorrow. News and weather on the way with Neil. And I should also be reading out tonight's registration number for the bug in the cab in just a couple of minutes as well. So if you registered your details with us, listen up. Could be you tonight. Reaction. Just ahead of the news, let me give you tonight's registration number for our Bugs in the Cab feature. If this is your registration number, you've got until just before 1 o'clock, so 2 hours in order to phone through and claim your bug, okay? If your registration number is LJ54ZFN. LJ54ZFN. If that's your registration number, you'll have registered it with us over the last sort of 6 to 8 weeks or so. You need to be on the phone, claim your bug before 1 o'clock. LJ54ZFN.
The National Road Administration is hoping to introduce a new sweeter blend of road salt, but wants to make sure it doesn't attract wildlife to Sweden's highways. The project organisers say the 14 hoofed jury members at Stockholm's Skansen Open Air Museum will be presented with 2 salt blocks, one with a new sugary flavour and another one tasting like the road salt already being used in the country.
But this salt is, to get rid of the ice. Why do they have to change the flavour? I mean, do we need sweet salt, or is this another type they're going to use that is just sweeter?
I think what they're trying to do is just make sure that they don't like it, so it doesn't attract them to the roads.
But surely salt is salt. I mean, why is it changing?
Well, maybe they like the salt that's on the roads at the moment and they're being run over.
That could be.
And that's big road. Moose is a big roadkill.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it takes all sorts, doesn't it? But I'm just wondering, what... I mean they say, about animals and children. I can just see these moose, coming in.
Don't like this one.
Yeah. No, don't like that one.
Don't like that one.
Don't like that one, George, do you? Oh, no. Love this one over here. Or maybe, they catch, whiff of what's going on and they tell fibs.
Could do.
So that the one that goes down is the one that they like, and then when it snows, there they are, chomping away on this.
Or they could be politically correct and say, no, we're not doing this. We're being told by the government we've got too much salt in our diets, and now you're trying to feed us it.
Absolutely right.
I would.
And this is, where you say, it's Norway or somewhere?
Sweden.
In Sweden.
That's all right. My car's over here, so it's all right.
That's all right. Yes, fine. I can just see these moose now.
Can you imagine them doing it in the New Forest? Because in the New Forest, the ponies just roam everywhere.
Oh, they have right to roam, yes.
But when you drive through the New Forest, you're aware of that, so you just slow down.
Well,
you're supposed to.
Not in my car, don't you?
Yeah,
mine's running slow anyway, you know.
You'd be delighted to be going fast enough to slow down, wouldn't you?
Absolutely. The ponies are going faster than me anyway, so I shouldn't worry.
But I can just imagine the New Forest Council trying to do this, and the ponies just turn around and going, it's my area anyway, I'm going to do what I want.
What was that sound? What was that sound again? What on earth
That's my impression of a New Forest pony.
Really?
Not many people get that.
No, I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised. You've heard it all now. You've heard it all now. I should wake up in the middle of the night hearing that. I will, I tell you.
It's not often I treat you to my impression.
No, and I'm glad it isn't. What's up with this weather? You said it was going to rain earlier on.
No, I didn't.
Oh, no, it wasn't you. It was Peter said it was going to rain.
I haven't got rain.
It's going to go...
Oh, no, I have. Yeah, yes, I have. Yeah, later on.
Yeah, apparently Monday could be
I don't
really
care what
heavy.
it does after Sunday. Variable
It's going to
amounts...
start on Sunday.
Variable amounts of cloud with clear periods, staying dry overnight tonight. Though some patchy mist is possible later in the night. Winds will be light and rather variable in directions, but becoming mainly southeasterly. Minimum overnight lows 6 Celsius, 43 degrees Fahrenheit. Thursday, partly cloudy, but mainly dry with bright or sunny spells. Shorts again. Generally warm in light... Well, I've been gardening today.
Oh, none your shorts.
Yeah, been mowing the weeds.
No wonder it's going to rain.
Generally warm in light winds, but sea breezes affecting parts of the coast, keeping it a little cooler. Maximum temperatures 19 Celsius, 66 degrees Fahrenheit. The outlook for the weekend, little change. Bright or sunny spells and generally warm in light winds. Sea breezes keeping the coasts cooler, but risk of showers late in the weekend.
Then on the early part of next week as well, apparently, which is pretty miserable.
Going to be a little moist, is it?
Yes, which will help the weeds to grow even more, but such is life.
Every little helps.
It certainly does. Other supermarkets are available.
At least something's growing.
Yes. My overdraft, it grows in my house. Does your work affect your daily life?
Does it ever?
Does your work... Do you have a job that you sort of take home with you? One of those jobs that is very much part of you all the time? I'm interested. I was talking to the gentleman a little bit earlier on who is a chef. And he was saying that, I said, well, when you go home, do you cook exotic things? And he said, well, beans on toast. And stuff like that. And he was saying that, if you're cooking exotic things throughout the day, the last thing you want to do is go home and start cooking a thingy-bob and a doodah like Fanny Craddock would cook. And I'm just wondering if this is something that is true with other industries as well, and whether it affects your life. I mean, if you're a plumber, have you got the latest gear at home, or have you got a 35-year-old knackered boiler?
Yes.
And a leaking tap?
Yes.
Are you a decorator with a front room that's just had the lining paper on for the past 30 years and hasn't been done? It's true, he has as well.
Yes.
Absolutely true. And if you are something like a professional driver, like a driving instructor, when you're in someone's car, maybe your other half's car, do you correct them all the time? Now, that would drive me mad. I used to have a friend who was a driving instructor, would never, ever, ever allow him in the car. He'd be driving and say, pedestrian on the left. Yes, I can see them, actually.
Hyacinth, mind the pedestrian.
Oh, it was awful. It will dug it all the time. You should be braking by now. I am braking. Indicate, mirror, have you checked? And in the end, no one would ever get in the car with him because he was an absolute pain in the bum. He was a pain in the bum out the car, actually, as well.
There's a lot of these, aren't there? Like, if you work in a pub or a restaurant, are you always very critical of the way you get served when you go for a drink or go for a meal?
That's true. Yeah, that is very true. And maybe do you try to score little points? I think deep down inside we all do. I mean, if you worked behind a bar, would you go into another bar and ask for something a little bit unusual and see if the bar person knew what it was?
Yes, a cocktail, for example.
Yes. Would you go and ask for a blah, blah, blah and sort of bask in the glory of having to say, do you not know what that is? Oh, let me tell you.
Can I pass on a little trick of the trade as you brought that up?
Yes.
A number of bars... a number of the owners of bars have what they call mystery customers, who they send round to the bar.
Probably.
No, it's not me. No, I'm at the other end of it most of the time. And they go around and all they do is they just go in as a customer, order their their drinks and go outside and then mark them on the way they've been served as a customer. Because obviously if you know that the management are coming or the head office are coming, you put on the airs and graces. So they do these mystery customers where this person will just walk in as a normal customer, but they'll always ask for a receipt.
Ooh, so you know who they are.
Yeah, oh, yes.
Ooh, right.
I used to get the bar manager come running up to me and say, we've got a mystery customer. Somebody's just asked for a receipt.
But there again, I ask for receipts as well, you know. If I'm buying somebody a drink, I'll claim that back from the tax man, you know. I'm not buying people a glass of water. What do you think I am?
Yeah,
made of money?
7 of you went out, a glass of water and 7 straws, please.
There you are, absolutely right. And do you think that if you do a particular job, are you critical of other people who do it as well? I mean,
yes.
You know, I think you probably would be. I mean, just imagine if you're something like, the bar person obviously is a good example, but, you know, do you... decorate is a good one. We know.
Yes.
Would you go into a you go into a building and there are some decorators there? Would you turn around and say, "Oh, you're not doing that right, mate," even though you know they probably are, but you just have to comment because
or
it's your...
criticise the decoration in somebody's house. Who hung that wallpaper for?
Yeah. Who hung that upside down? I did. I wanted it that way. Thank you very much.
It's different.
It looks nicer. Because next door's got the same, and I don't do the same as next door. That's very true.
Gardeners going around looking at gardens. And
yes.
Picking up on where things have gone. And
yeah. And of course you could be a car salesman person. And, you know, and you're walking around and you're saying to them, you shouldn't have bought the GLX, blah, blah, blah. What you should have done is bought the one above that. You'd have got the power steering and the da-da-da-da-da-da. I mean, people like that are a total and utter bore anyway, aren't they? But do you think people are really like that? Are you? And, of course, there's another side to this story as well. Maybe your other half has a profession, but they don't bring their profession home. So,
yes.
Have you had that leaky tap for the past 20 years and the other half is a plumber, still hasn't fixed it?
Practice what they preach.
Yes. Or maybe your exhaust is hanging off. Hubby works or other half works as a car mechanic. Never fixed it. We want to know. I think that could be rather interesting.
Are you a copper that breaks the speed limit? Go on, admit it. Go into Paul's confessional.
Would never. Oh, yes, I've got new curtains in there.
Paul Miller on BBC Radio Kent.
Or do you make tea at home, but not when you come to work? You know,
that'll be you then.
That'll be I want to know, it's 11:15, if this has happened to you, and will you admit to being someone who is critical of other people who do the same job as you? And also, do you sometimes find it very strange watching television programmes? I mean, if you're a police officer, and this is just hypothetical here, but are you a police officer? Do you sit and watch The Bill? Do you find that you have to, even though the bill is fictitious, do you find that you just have to? Maybe you're a nurse or you're a doctor or you work in a hospital or a medical environment. Would you sit and watch Casualty? But are you very critical? So would you be sitting there saying, they would never have used that bandage, they would never have done that, and certainly a nurse would never be allowed to do that?
Call BBC Radio Kent 08459 811111.
I want to know. The text is 07786 200 961. Email paulmillershow@bbc.co.uk. Taking your work home. These jobs that you have, and it's just always there. So when work and your own private life sort of, they mix together. They sort of mingle, if you like. They overlap just ever so slightly. I think they do for most people. And it's interesting whether you are very, not so much critical, but whether you take an interest in other people who do the same job as you. But to the point where maybe, you sit back and think, I really shouldn't be doing this. I really should let go. I used to have a friend some years ago whose sister was manager of a hotel. And this was a big hotel as well. It's a big chain. And she was terrible because if ever she went into a hotel herself for a holiday or even a guest house or anything, she would question things if she didn't think they were right. And she would drive people bonkers. She would say, you do realise it's very rude not to do this. And you do realise that, this should be done and that should be done. And in the end, people just wouldn't go anywhere near a hotel with her because they knew that it was asking for trouble. And of course, then there is whether you take such an interest in what you do that you have things lurking around the house. Now, these could be, I suppose, slightly anarchy maybe. But, if you do a certain job, have you got instruments or pieces of equipment, devices, whatever, that have something to do with your job that you have at home? For example, it could be a chimney sweep, and you've got a chimney sweep's brush, on the mantelpiece or something like that. Maybe you're a doctor, and you've got some sort of old, stethoscope or something that you've got hanging from the wardrobe door. I think we all do things like that to a certain extent.
Call BBC Radio Kent 08459 811111.
And of course, some industries are very Anunnaki anyway. I've got a friend, for example, who's a radio engineer, has been for many, many years. And if you go into his back room, in the corner, he's got this big, which looks like a metal canister. But it's only if you know what it is, you realise it's a very old valve out of a transmitter. And people sort of look and say, what on earth have you got that old thing for? And it's part of his history. It was an old one that blew, and he kept it, and he's taken it home. And he actually used it as a coffee table, which gives you some idea as to how big it is. So maybe you've got things like that. Let us know. Straight off to Gravesend, we're off to now to speak to Rick. Hello, Rick.
Hi, Jan. How are you doing?
Fine. How are you?
Yeah, good.
Good. Now then, you're a taxi driver.
I am indeed.
So do you find, therefore, you are ever so slightly critical of others or other drivers?
A little more than that. If I'm on a night out, for instance, and I'm being driven home and they don't take the same route as I would take, I get very angry.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Even if the other person isn't a taxi driver, it could be a relative or a friend or anybody.
Oh, no. That really doesn't matter. I just get very angry. Bit of a stickler for the rules, It's supposed to be the shortest journey, etc.
Yeah. Well, it's what you're paid for. It's what you're supposed to do, isn't it?
Well, that's right.
So would you actually say something, or will you just sit there in the chair and seethe?
Oh, goodness me, no, I say something.
You do?
Absolutely.
And how do they react, usually?
Very badly, usually.
You didn't mind your own business or get out and walk?
How dare you? Yeah, you've got to tell them.
Is this a common trait with taxi drivers?
Oh, I hope it's not. Speaking for myself, as I say, I'm a real stickler for the rules. And the rules say you're supposed to take the shortest journey possible. Yeah. That's the one we have to go for.
So when you've said things to other taxi drivers in the past, Rick, how have they reacted? I mean, have any of them, reacted quite badly and said, if you want to drive this thing, you're welcome to? Or do they take it in good spirits, or do they realise that you do the same job and you just sort of have a bit of banter between you?
No, most of them are okay, They certainly at Gravesend, most of the cabbies know each other. So there's a pretty good rapport, And,
which is a good thing.
It's taken in good heart,
You often find that people, when they get together who do a similar job, I mean, they are going to talk shop anyway, aren't they?
Of course.
People say that they don't, but that is rubbish. You can't tell me that if 4 or 5 nurses don't go out together, they're not going to talk about medical procedures or, this latest doctor that they all fancy or something. I mean, you're going to, aren't you?
I'm sure they do.
Because your work is such a big part of, of your life.
Absolutely. But anyway, that story you were telling right at the end of the news about the salt and the moose.
Oh, yeah?
It's how my mind works, and I was just thinking, that's the end of the moose, and now the weather.
Rick.
Sorry.
Stick with the taxi driving.
I should.
Lovely to speak to you. Thanks for your call.
You take care. Have a good evening.
And you all the best. Bye-bye now.
Bye-bye now.
Bye-bye. There's Rick from Gravesend. I like that. Did you hear that, Neil? That was the moose for the weather. Let's go and speak to Colin. Hiya, Colin.
Hello, Paul. How are you?
Fine. Colin the trucker, very well indeed. How is the world treating you?
Oh, not too bad. Very quiet tonight. Not too bad.
It's quite nice driving around at night at the moment, because it's quite mild,
it's
isn't
very nice,
it?
Yeah, definitely. Very quiet, very, mild, like you said, yeah.
Yeah. Have you got the windows down, the wind blowing through your hair and that sort of thing?
Oh, no, air conditioning.
Oh, excuse me.
Yeah.
Talk about posh.
Oh, yes.
God, dear. And, of course, we know who you are now because your registration number is the one I read out just before 11 o'clock. And I'm just looking at it. That's quite a new lorry as well. Does it belong to you?
Yeah, unfortunately, no, it belongs to the company I work for.
Oh.
I wish.
I know. I mean, joking aside, 'cause I know nothing about your industry at all.
Okay.
I mean, your lorry's about, what, 2 years old or something?
Yes, yeah, about 18 months, 2 years, yeah.
So how much would a lorry like that... I mean, what sort of a lorry is it? I mean, name names. I'm just curious.
It's a Leyland DAF. It's a 44-foot Arctic, so...
So what would that mean? How much would a lorry like that cost to buy?
I think in the region, around about 60 or 70,000 pounds, I think.
60 or 70 grand?
I'm pretty sure they're around that sort of money, yeah.
Good grief. It's a lot of money, isn't it?
Week's wages for you, Paul.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, easy. Dream on. But I just find it amazing, you know, the amount that these lorries does. But the new ones, like yours, I mean, I see them when I'm driving up and down the motorway, they're beautiful, aren't they?
Oh, yeah, especially the ones that have been airbrushed. You have the paintings on the side and...
They look lovely.
Oh, yeah, definitely, yeah. Yeah.
And there are some as well that have looked... I mean, I don't know if my observations are right, but I've seen some on the road. I think they're Scanias, and they look like the American ones.
The long nose.
With the nose comes out the front.
Yeah, the big noses, yeah.
I mean, is that just sort of, you know, just a style, or is that because they are particularly big, or what?
I've no idea. I think it's one of the Scania makes, I would have thought, yeah.
Because because a lot of them in America are like that, aren't they?
Oh, yes, yeah, definitely.
Would you like to drive one of those?
Oh, no, I'll stay with what I'm doing, I think. That's enough. up and down to Nottingham every night, that's enough.
Yeah, that is more than enough.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, more than enough. Tell me something, I mean, obviously this isn't why you've rung, but if you get chatting to other cab drivers, other lorry drivers, rather, I mean, do you find that you are pretty critical of each other, or you do talk shop all the time between you?
Sometimes, I mean, not all the times, no, because obviously where I go up at Nottingham, there's other guys from our depot.
Yeah.
And basically, just general chit-chat, but it's not so much about work. No, I wouldn't say so, no.
So if you were to go to a party, or maybe you're, I don't know, a wedding reception or something, and you met some bloke and it turned out that he was a lorry driver, do you think that you would naturally just sort of start talking about, I don't know...
Oh, yeah, that sort of situation, obviously what they drive and who they work for and what they're pulling, etc., yeah.
Because obviously you do a job because you're interested in it.
That's right.
So it is very much part of your job.
Oh, yeah.
But I bet you that the geezer you get chatting to at a wedding hasn't got a little fluffy bug in his, has he?
No,
he has not. They are like gold dust.
Oh, yes. It'd be sitting in here as soon as it comes.
Bless its little heart.
Yeah.
Look after him, won't you?
I will do, Paul, no problem.
Give him a little stroke every day and he'll look after you.
There will do, no problem.
Neil's got your details, so that's great.
Thank you very much, Paul.
Nice to speak to you.
And you, take care.
All the best. Bye-bye now.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. There you go. There's Colin the trucker, so we've got his details, and we should be pulling out another one of those registration numbers at random, same time tomorrow. More chances for you to win. And it's still not too late for you to register either. We'll give you a little bit longer to register. If you drive professionally whilst listening to the programme, maybe you drive a lorry like a Colin there. It can be a tanker, it can be a taxi, a cab, anything. It doesn't matter what it is, as long as you're driving professionally for a living rather than just driving for leisure, okay? Give us a ring, email, or you can only text when we're on the air, otherwise it will go to the wrong place. But you can email anytime, 24/7. Paul Miller Show at bbc.co.uk. Paul Miller Show at bbc.co.uk. And of course, if you can never get it right, you can also email from my webpage on the old website as well. Give us your details. We need to know the registration number of the vehicle, what the vehicle is, and also your name as well. And we only use that information so that when you do phone through to claim your bugs, if it does get read out, you do have to claim it, then we can verify you are the right person. Okay, so we'll take it from there. Oh, by the way, I was talking just now about those trucks that are like, is truck the right word? Lorry? I'm not very good with this stuff. Just forgive me, I've got all the wrong words here. But those big lorries that I said have got the nose that comes out. Dave in Salisbury just sent me a text. Nice one, Dave. He says, Paul, they are Scanias, and it's called a T5 cab. Have you seen them, Neil, on the roads? They're like, the lorries you get on the roads, most of them, the front of them are flat. But have you seen some where the nose comes out the front? That looks like an American one. Like remember the film Duel, where Dennis Weaver was being chased by that great big lorry and the engine comes out the front? They like the American ones, yeah, absolutely. There's some of them over here now, and apparently it's called a T5. They look good, don't they? Maybe I could have one of those to drive to and from work. They're probably only about 80 grand, so we're getting an old one maybe. That's 60 years old, And what sort of mileage would they do? It probably cost about £500, £600 to fill it up with petrol, diesel rather. It probably does about 5 miles to the gallon, but there again, so does mine, as I keep telling you, because I must find where that leak is. On the text, 07786 200 961. Jonathan says, hello, Paul. I'm a nurse. I always watch programmes on the television about doctors and nurses and hospitals. Casualty is a hoot. In fact, we often discuss it at work. It's very unrealistic most of the time. One also from Jason, who says, Paul, a couple of years ago I started working in a hotel, and I'm afraid I became very unbearable to other people, because if ever I went anywhere near a hotel or a guest house, I was very critical about the way things were being done, and I also started bombarding people with facts and statistics, which drove people crazy. I bet it probably did. And also... Oh, yeah, Dave, the Mad Trucker rung through. Nice one, Dave. He says, that sweet salt you were talking about at the end of the news and the mousse and what have you, tasting it. Apparently it contains waste molasses, and they stick to the road when it rains so the salt doesn't wash off. Is that true? That's such a good idea, because they put the salt on the roads over here just before we have a downpour, and then it gets washed off. And then, of course, it all goes for a Burton. That's a really good idea. We'll probably start doing it over here in 500 years' time. Apparently it's used in London. Is that true? I suppose it does. The salt does seem to last a lot longer in London. Never knew that. You learn something every single day. And also hi to Brenda as well, who says, Paul, talking about jobs, my husband is a police officer. I cannot bear to watch the bill with him or anything like it. And also, if we're out and about and he sees other police officers, even if they're people that he knows, he always has to say something. Drives us mad.
Call BBC Radio Kent 08459 811111.
Pick up the phone, give us a ring, text 07786 200 961, email paulmillershow@bbc.co.uk. And an interesting one from Rowena from Leon Solent says, Paul, are you critical about other radio presenters? Of course I'm not. Horrible. Coming up to 20 to 12, Paul Miller Show from the BBC in the South. Before we speak to Roy, just had a lovely email come through from Bernard in West Grinstead. He said, Paul, just came back into the room, and I picked up the end of your chat with Neil about the salt on the roads. Thought you might be interested to know that I saw a story a couple of months ago about deer in Scotland and the fact that the deer were wandering onto the road to eat the salt. And so therefore they were in Scotland trying to find a salt that the deer won't eat, because it's actually causing accidents with the deer as they go straying onto the roads. I had no idea. Hadn't heard of. No joke intended. I had no idea this was going on. There you go. As I always say, you learn something every day on this programme. Roy is in Cranley. Good evening to you, dear sir.
Well, I heard you talking about nagged and worn out. I thought you were talking about me.
No, definitely not. I could have been talking about Neil next door, couldn't I, you know? But no, I would never be like that. Never be like that. Are you well, my friend?
Yes, thanks very much indeed.
Jolly good. Yeah, very well indeed.
Is Neil keeping you up to date with all the tea and biscuits?
Yeah, tea has arrived, and over here I have got a fresh packet of unopened ginger nuts.
Ah.
And these are fabulous because I adore them and he hates them.
Have you still got that little teacup with the lid on I gave you many moons ago?
This is it. I use it every single night, the blue one, yes.
Yeah.
But and the number of people that have asked me about this cup, it's true. And they say, where'd you get that from? I say, that's a secret.
Ah.
So there. No, I've got it here. I use it every single night. I love it.
I don't know whether you mislaid the lid or anything.
No. No, it is there in my cupboard.
Ah.
And very nice it is as well.
Ah.
Now, you're an ex-landlord, as we know. You've told us once or twice in the past. So does that mean you're a nightmare to go into a pub with?
I'm not a nightmare, but I'm looking out all the time.
What do you mean? Looking out for things...
When they reach up for a glass, see how clean it is.
Oh, I see.
Make sure there's no lipstick on it, like there is on some of the glasses.
Oh, you've been to the bar here, have you? Yeah.
Well, I don't wear lipstick, but, you know.
No, I'm putting you low.
Also, the quantity of beer you actually get in the glass.
Now, that's interesting, because I've heard people talking about this before, saying, hang on a minute, that's not right. You know, and there's not enough in there, and too much froth, and this, that, and the other. I mean, do they try to sometimes, you know, be a bit crafty to give you not quite the right amount?
Well, I think some glasses are marked.
And the actual quantity of the beers you got to that mark, and above it is the froth.
Yeah, there's like a little white line on the side, isn't there?
That's
I've
right,
seen
yeah,
that,
not all glasses, but I think they're supposed to be all marked,
Oh, right.
as far as I can recall.
Uh-huh.
But it all depends how you pour the pint to start with, whether how much froth it gets in there.
Yes.
You know, if you hold a glass dead upright and pull the handle quite fast, then it obviously is going to be quite frothy. If you tilt the glass and sort of have quite a slow pull on it, then it's going to be less frothy.
Right, right. And do you say something, Roy?
Sorry?
I mean, sorry, no, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but do you say something? So, for example, if you were to go into a pub now with me or whoever, and the bar person was putting a couple of pints, and you could see they were doing it wrong, would you say something in a roundabout way? Would you try to bring it up in a joking way, or would you just say nothing and then come away and say, oh, that bloke's got it all wrong?
Yeah, I sort of try and do it in a joking way. In fact, I got what I wanted in the first place.
But you would
It's
say
what
something.
you're paying for, isn't it?
Yeah, quite right too.
It's like, with optics, saying you get the right measure of what's in the optic, don't you?
Yeah, I make sure they do. I say, give that a shake and wait for that last drip to
That's
come out,
right.
please.
Because I think on an optic, I think they're legally allowed 2 drips after it's shut.
Really?
If there's more than that, I think it's a faulty one and they have to replace them.
Because I didn't realise that those optics, that it is quite precise, the amount that comes out. 'Cause when I used to work in clubs years ago, they used to change them every now and again. And I didn't realise that it was that, precise. I thought it was a rough measure, but it's not. It's quite accurate,
No,
isn't it?
they come round and check them every so often.
Yeah, I didn't
And if they're
realise
faulty, then you have to change them at your expense.
Yeah. And the other thing that I discovered in clubs years ago as well was, that you get like, I'm going to have to name a name here. You get like Coca-Cola and it comes in the concentrate. So
Yeah.
you get like a little gum thing.
Yeah.
And when you press the button, it comes out and what
Yeah,
have you.
yeah,
Well,
yeah.
they can change the quantity of syrup to water and what have you, can't they?
Yeah.
And I remember there was one club that I was working in, and this particular night, they were really moaning because someone had come in to test it. And it wasn't strong enough. They were holding back on the syrup to make it last longer.
Yeah.
And they got into trouble. And I didn't realise that could be altered as well if somebody wants to be really crafty.
Yeah, and they do quite rigorous checks when they do. Especially dates on bottles. I think a lot of people didn't realise it was date on a bottle.
Well, it wouldn't matter in my house.
If
because it
you
doesn't
buy a
last long
bottle
enough.
of beer, there's a date on it.
Yes.
And things like that, which some people don't realise that. They think, the bottle of beer is a bottle of beer and that's it.
Has it ever happened in reverse, though, Roy? Did you ever have anyone come into your pub who was also a landlord or a landlady and questioned or commented on something that you had done?
They used to question difference in prices. You used to get a variation in prices from one pub to another.
Sure.
And I think that a lot depended on how much rent the landlords were paying
Yes, yes,
to survive,
yes.
So that sort of came into it. But generally, I think the most landlords, recognised that it's difficult to please everybody.
Quite.
But to give anybody a short measure was the taboo. You're lucky we never got smacked up.
Well, yeah, that's the problem.
Especially if you had 1 or 2 pints.
Well, exactly. It's not the sort of environment, is it, where you want to start questioning people, particularly if they're the size of Jeff Capes.
Yeah, yeah.
You do tend to keep rather quiet. You haven't given me enough. Oh, no, sorry, sir. No, I haven't. Let me give you another one on the house.
Yeah, then again, you get someone else who comes in. They like a big frothy head. It looks good.
That's true. Yeah, I suppose it
I used
goes...
to have one customer. He said, I want a bigger head than that. I said, I'm giving you the quantity of beer you asked for.
Yeah, stick a straw and blow,
I don't want a big head.
It's weird, isn't
He
it?
liked the taste of it for some reason or another.
Yeah, well, horses for courses.
Yeah.
Tell me, Roy, did you have a house full of promotional stuff? I mean, did you have loads of, branded glasses and bottle openers and beer mats and stuff around the place at home?
Well, when I came out of the pub, I kept the old original menu, which the price tariff, the bar tariff.
Uh-huh.
I took that off the wall, and I've got that in my lounge bar. The last
Well, that's a nice
price never
keepsake.
charged. Then I had a big sort of glass frame with antique corkscrews in.
That's quite nice.
They were antique. They weren't just any old corkscrews, I collected. They were antique ones.
But if someone had gone round to your home, they wouldn't have found that, every glass that you had the name of a spirit on, and every cup had this...
I wasn't into that. The only thing I had were the odd couple of ashtrays, which were sort of would-be collector's items at a later date. But other than that, I wasn't. I've got a picture of the pub, and that's of it.
You weren't sad enough, Roy, to have everything then?
No, even the sweaters, which were actually from the breweries, that I used to give away.
You're just too generous, you know that, don't you?
I couldn't walk down the street, you know, with all these slogans and that on it, you know.
No, you don't want to. Easily recognise, hey, it's that bloke again.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't want to go there.
Yeah, I've got a jumper which I kept when I had a darts team.
Uh-huh.
But I can't get it on any rate.
I'm not going to say a word.
A 12-year-old kid would have a better chance of putting it on.
But there again, they do shrink, don't they? They do shrink.
This is really shrunk.
Believe that, you believe anything. Right, good to speak. Thanks for your
have a
call.
nice one, Paul.
And
Bye,
you take
bye.
good care. Bye-bye now. There's Roy from Cranley. Anybody else, before we speak to Anne in Brighton, anybody else who has, you know, a home full of bits and pieces that come from the industry that they work? And as I say, I've got a friend who's a radio engineer, and he's got a big transmitter valve in his back room. As I say, a lot of people comment on all those years giving up and the way people react to you know, how she reacts to other people's styles and what have you. On the text, Robin Marchwood says, Paul, my college life affects my daily life because I'm a trainee chef. I do criticise meals whenever I go out for a meal somewhere. I look at the way that it's being cooked, the way it's being presented, and so on and so forth. And also, Chrissy from Oxford says, Paul, some years ago I was a ballet dancer. For ages after I stopped, I would drive everyone bar me. When I sort of came out of a theatre, I'd be saying things like, her foot was all wrong, and did you see her alignment? But after a few years, I learned to just sit back and enjoy being, you know, part of the audience. But, says Chrissy, it was very, very difficult at first. Also, Sue in Southwick says, Paul, funny you should mention Nurses and Casualty. My son is a nurse and very critical about the programme. However, I don't think that nurses have the time to sort of, you know, think about these to solve personal problems like they do on the telly. No, I don't think they do. And also, what else have we got? Oh, hang on a minute. A few registration numbers coming through here to be logged, which we've got sorted out. Yeah, one from Peter. He says, hi, Paul. I work as a car mechanic, have done for the past 15 years. I'm always very critical of the job that the very expensive main dealer does on my dad's very expensive company car. I'm often trying to work out how much they've charged him for everything. Bearing in mind, I know how much the bits and pieces are. For example, the price of a spark plug, the price of a filter, etc., etc. And I get very worked up. I think the best thing to do, really, is just to say nothing and get on with it. After all, it is life. Also, Betty from 3 Mile Cross says she was a professional dressmaker for many, many years and also made costumes for local drama groups. Again, it would be something that she'd always comment on other people who had been doing something very similar and how they had done it. And Victor in Maidenhead is an ex-salesman, very critical, he says, of salespersons in shops, their selling techniques, lack of product awareness and knowledge and that sort of thing. And also, where's the other one? Yes, Stu from Chandler's Ford on the text says, Paul, you know, sprayers tend to be a little bit judgmental to their colleagues' work. You know, they always say things like, oh, I could have got a better finish than that, at least, so they think. And final one for now comes through from Olive, who is in Slough. Says, Paul, I think this is a very interesting article because my husband is a builder. He's been in the building trade for nearly 40 years. My house looks as though the builders have been working on it for 40 years. He's done all sorts of things. I've got ensuite, this, that and the other. There's one thing that I don't have in my house, though, and that is a job that's been completed.
Spending on spuds has risen by 20% since 2001 as shoppers buy more expensive varieties, according to market analysts.
Maris Pipers.
I'm getting down to that. Yeah.
Nice.
Total spending on all potato products comes to £1.5 billion once frozen, chilled, canned and other varieties are included. Canned.
Yeah, you get canned potatoes, little new ones in a tin. Maybe you call them tin potatoes where you come from.
No, never seen potatoes.
That'd be right up your street. Undo the tin. I'm sure you get to grips with that. Put it in put it in the pan with the water in there as well. It's in its own salty water. Put it in. Turn the gas on, unless of course it's an electric cooker, in which case don't. Put it on, and there you go. Potatoes.
Cook them in the can.
No, I just said open the can and put it in the saucepan.
Right, so it's not like... No, because some things you cook actually in the can, don't you?
It's
Like
no different.
Fray Bentos and stuff.
It's no different. That's true. No, it's no different to tinned peas or carrots or anything.
Bigger.
Yeah, just bigger. And you can get enormous ones as well. In they go. And they're usually new potatoes as well, those little tiny ones. They're nice. Do you not get them where you come from?
I've never seen them.
Probably
I just buy a big bag of potatoes. It lasts me 6 months.
Yeah, they do. They're very good. If they start to sprout, just chop those bits off. Yeah, it's fine. Yeah.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
Oh, I think I'm getting a bit extra for my money.
No.
I keep them in the fridge.
Yeah, free vegetables with them, you know.
I keep them in the fridge because it says keep cool and dark, and there's nowhere cooler and darker than inside the fridge.
No, that is also very true. That's also very true.
Dehydrated potato, here's the thing, such as Smash, has enjoyed a 22% increase in sales in the last 3 years.
That's because those little spacemen are coming down, you see.
The strength of the Smash brand and the convenience factor of the dried product are apparently behind the trend. Shoppers' increased spending on fresh potatoes is said to be down to supermarkets launching more expensive varieties such as organic Maris Piper, Vivaldi, I thought he was a composer,
yeah, I think he was.
and ready-to-cook, is it Parmentia potato?
Yes.
I just buy potatoes. I don't get all these different...
Do you not?
No, just the first
Maris
bag...
Pipers are nice. They're very good for chips and for baking as well.
No, chips come in a packet already frozen.
Oh, common as muck. No, they are very nice, Maris Pipers. I also like big reds as well in the oven, you know, with all the lovely butter over the top. Yummy.
No, I just buy the first packet that come to.
The cheapest one he buys.
Yeah, why not?
But to be honest with you, I think they'll taste very much the same anyway.
Yeah.
I don't see an awful lot of difference.
No, potatoes.
I mean, it's a staple diet, isn't it? A staple diet, rather. It's saying very much, you know, potatoes are very, very good for you and they can be used for all sorts of things.
I might do this now. Are they carbs?
Carbohydrate potatoes, yes.
Oh, right, okay. Is that good or bad?
That's good.
Oh, right, okay.
Unless, of course, you have, you know, 4 tons of them, a whole load of tomato sauce and whatever on the
I do
top.
love mashed potatoes.
Yeah, I do as well. I must admit, I like mashed
potatoes. But I don't go with the dehydrated stuff. I actually...
Oh, yeah, proper ones.
But do you do it with butter and milk or just butter?
Oh, yes, a little bit of milk as well, otherwise it's not smooth.
I don't. No, I say I don't. I quite like, because I like it fluffy. So I just put like a butter in it.
It's a Midlands thing, obviously. It's
Squash it down with the thing, spin it round.
In Twickenham, we like them nice and soft.
And a little bit of cheese.
Oh, no.
Yeah, cheesy potatoes. What's that called? That's called something. Is that Bubble and Squeak?
No, it's not called Bubble and Squeak at all. No, I don't...
Sure?
Yeah, I'm positive. Bubble and Squeak is like old bits of cabbage and what have you, all fried up, isn't it?
Oh, is it? I reckon.
Yes.
But potato with cheese in it is called something.
Potato and cheese, probably.
Ah, there we go. I'll make a note of that.
You know what to ask for now.
Fanny's got nothing on me.
Yeah, absolutely not. Absolutely not. I'm very curious on this potato. I've got an idea about potatoes, so you do the weather, please.
Variable amounts of cloud with clear periods and staying dry tonight. Some patchy mist is possible later in the night. Winds will be light and rather variable in direction, becoming mainly southeasterly. Minimum overnight lows 6 Celsius, 43 degrees Fahrenheit. Partly cloudy for the rest of Thursday, but mainly dry with bright or sunny spells, just right for planting potatoes. Generally warm in light winds, but sea breezes will affect parts of the coast, keeping it cooler. Maximum temperatures 19 Celsius, 66 degrees Fahrenheit, and the weekend little change, bright or sunny spells, but a risk of showers later in the weekend.
Yeah, next week apparently there could be some showers the early part of the week as well. Just had a text come through from Matthews in Minster-on-Sea. He says, did you know that you can live on potatoes and milk alone because the two of them together have all the nutrients that your body needs?
That means no chocolate.
Yeah, I know, so that's miserable, isn't it?
Milk chocolate?
Yeah, well, there you are, you see. There's your milk. Yeah, I don't see a problem with that. That's good, yeah. I've got a challenge.
Potatoes, so you have 5 vegetables, 5 potatoes, that's your 5 a day.
There you are, that's right. Yeah, of course it is. So it makes sense, yeah. And as I've often said in the past, cocoa beans are little vegetables as well, I believe, or they fruits. No vegetables. Coffee beans as well. So there you are, you see, yeah. I don't drink any coffee, though.
Chocolate orange?
Yeah, no, I don't like that. I don't like orange and chocolate together.
Oh, I do.
No, I don't like chocolate orange. No, don't go there. My mother does, but
Box of chocolates with the strawberry ones?
No, I don't
There's
like...
the fruit in there. Yeah, it's good for you.
It is. I agree. So bearing in mind we are buying and chomping our way through £855 million worth of potatoes a year, I've got a little challenge in this last bit of the programme.
Oh, dear.
Yes. What can you do with potatoes apart from that? Put the phone down, you cheeky in the corner. I want to know what you can do with potatoes, different things, because you don't just boil them, do you? I mean,
I see what you mean.
So, I mean,
Okay,
you
you're
don't
right.
just boil them or mash them up with a bit of milk and whatever. I mean, there are so many things you can do. They're very universal. You can do things with the bit in the middle. You can do things with the skins. You can do all sorts of things.
I have an idea.
Go on.
Paul's poll.
My poll, absolutely. Let's get a Paul's poll on the go. So we're asking you for things you can do with a potato. No, maybe we shouldn't ask that the question. Ways of eating potatoes.
Oh.
That's better, isn't it?
Yeah, you've no sense of adventure, Miller.
It's not that. It's just that some of the listeners have got a great sense of adventure, and we could be off air. Some of those potatoes could get us into all sorts of trouble.
We used to use them for making pictures with.
Oh, he's so Midlands, he really is.
Paul Miller on BBC Radio Kent.
So that is our challenge then. We're going to get Paul's poll going in the final part of the programme then for a bit of fun. Come on, if we're eating £855 million worth of potatoes a year, what are we doing with them? Or what can we do with them? Email Paul Miller Show, that's all one word, Paul Miller Show at bbc.co.uk. Different ways of eating them, little things that you do with your potatoes. It could be a guilty pleasure, something that you particularly like to do. You know, take a potato, cut it in half, put a little bit of vodka in the middle or something, you know. So if we're spending £855 million a year on potatoes, what can we actually do with them? We've had some rude suggestions coming through. We'll be ignoring those. Thank you very much. But obviously, there have got to be other uses, other ways of eating them, apart from just boiling them, mashing them, or baking them. Is there a particular filling that you like to put? Is there something special you do? Make up some little fritters or something like that? Pick up the phone and give us a ring and we'll get a little poll going here. There could be some interesting suggestions, things that maybe you've never tried in the past, but you would like to in the future.
Call BBC Radio Kent 08459 811111.
We want to know. And as always, the text 07786 200 961. To Milton Keynes, we'll speak to Ian. Hi, Ian.
Hi, Paul. All right.
Very well, my friend. Long time no speak. I hope you haven't been doing things like working.
Oh, don't be silly.
I was going to say.
Hello to Jackie if she's listening.
Hi, Jackie. She'll be listening. She'll be listening.
I was going to call you in the last hour because I take my work home.
Yeah, well, you don't do it.
I don't do anything there either.
It's interesting, though, isn't it, when you speak to people, you know, what they do for a living and how it does encroach, if you like, in their private lives. It's interesting, and people who do have bits and pieces floating around the house that belong to that job, if you like, or associated with it. But I suppose you're always going to, you know.
That's true. Anyway, I'm going to stick up for Neil a little bit here.
Oh, go on.
I mash cheese in with my mashed potato.
You don't?
Yeah, seriously. Seriously, it's lovely. Really nice.
Ooh.
You'll have to try it.
I'm not a big cheese fan, you see. I mean, I can sit down and have a piece of cheese on a biscuit. What is nice, especially about 4 o'clock in the morning when you get the munchies, is a rich tea biscuit with a big lump of cheddar on the top.
Well, you mix that cheddar in with your potatoes next time.
Really? Because I don't like cheese in cooking, which probably sounds a bit daft, but I don't. And there's a restaurant that friends of mine often want to go to, and I always dread going there because 90% of the menu is cheese-based or has cheese in it. Well, the menu hasn't, but the meals have. And I get, I think, oh, here we go again. What am I going to have? And they find it really strange that I don't like cheese.
We usually buy the grated cheese because it's easier than to cut it up yourself, like, and then just mash it in with a potato.
So this would be what, just baked potato, not baked potato, jacket potato, you mean, or roast mashed potato, anything?
Well, either the jacket or the boil it and then mash it and put your grated cheese in.
But there again, on saying that, Ian, I do like potato skins, and quite often they've got cheese and bacon in them, haven't they?
Well, I was going to say you can also, have you tried that with prawns and the seafood sauce as well in the potato skin?
Oh yeah, I have.
I was going to say that's quite nice.
Oh yeah, that's yummy.
And then potato salad.
Don't like potato salad.
No, nor me, but I just thought I'd throw it in so I know it takes it.
I've never liked the taste. I'm not actually 100% sure what's in it, but I just don't like it.
No, I've never taken to that, to be honest with you.
It's all those little square little cubes in it. I look and think, no, I don't go there. No, I keep well away. But no, I've never... I've never been in one for the cheese, but if I put just a little sprinkling, you think, Ian, it may add a new dimension to my potato experience.
I mean, you don't have to overdo it. I mean, you actually, it's just sort of, basically, it does the same kind of job, I suppose, as what your milk could do. It smooths it out.
Oh, I see. And adds a few more calories to it as well.
Yeah, well, of course, calories, the spice of life.
Absolutely right. Absolutely right. So I'm just thinking maybe I should give this a go, because I do frequently have jacket spuds. I like jacket spuds, but they're no good in the microwave. Because,
no, they seem to dry out a lot, don't they?
You got like a lump of rubber at the end, and you're bouncing this thing around the plate thinking, what am I going to do with this,
I think that's how a lot of restaurants do it for speed.
Yeah, I think so as well.
You can tell.
You're absolutely right. If you have a jacket potato that's been done in the oven, it is so much different, and I believe that the skin is the best bit. And the skin is always lovely and crispy and dry and gorgeous. But if it goes in the microwave, as you say, it's a bit dehydrated and rubbery.
Yeah, very much so.
Yeah, I used to have a pot that you could put them in, like a clay. It looked like a clay saucepan to look at. And you used to put the potatoes in there and put the lid on and put that on the hob, on the gas.
Yeah.
And that was very good as well, as long as you remember to turn them every now and again.
Right, I've never come across that.
I actually think it was called, I'm sure if I've got this wrong, someone will phone through and tell me, because they always do. I think it was actually called a potato pot.
Right.
And we're going back about...
Very inventive name, then.
Pardon?
A very inventive name.
Oh, yes, they took a long time working that one out. I think we're probably talking about 20 years ago.
Oh, before my time?
Yeah.
I'll look in the history books for it.
Well, I was only 5, coming on 6. No, I think it was called a potato pot, and you would put it on the gas and you would put your potatoes in. You could also put your chestnuts in it as well, and they were delicious, really were nice. It gave the same effect as putting them in the oven without actually putting them into the oven,
Right, yeah.
I'm sure someone will tell me if I'm wrong, but I think that's what it was called, but there you go. Potatoes with cheese is on my list. I like the sound of that. I might give it a go.
It's definitely worth a try, it is, honestly.
Right, and if I don't like it, I shall blame you.
But don't overdo the cheese. Don't go crazy.
No, would I? Would I? Ian, always good to speak, my friend.
Be good.
Don't you do any hard work?
You know me.
Believe me, I do.
Chatty bye now.
Speak to you soon. All the best. Bye-bye now.
Ta-da.
There's Ian from Milton Keynes. Potatoes with cheese. Stephen's with us from Leon Solent. Hi, Stephen.
Hello, good morning to you.
How are you?
I'm very well.
Good.
Very well.
Now then, an alternative use for the good old potato.
Yes, this doesn't involve eating it or anything else.
Okay.
What it's designed for is to help people who are normally late for work in the morning get to work on time.
Go on.
Right, you take a large potato, get a very sharp knife and cut it in two so you've got the two perfectly round edges.
Right.
Throw one of the pieces away. Then put the knife in and cut it from the middle up to the top.
Okay.
Then from the middle down to the bottom left-hand side. Put it beside your bed, and in the morning you get a potato clock.
Oh! I didn't even see that coming.
No, that's...
I didn't... You are this close to the frying pan, do you know? Do you know
I suppose you're not going to hit me with it.
Well, I'm tempted. Where did you hear that, or did you make it up?
I think I heard it when you were 25.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, not.
It was about 18 months ago.
Well, I've been 25 for a number of years.
Yeah, so I hear. No, that's an old one, but
I've never heard that.
I just think it's rather good.
Yeah, so do I.
In the morning, you'll get a potato clock.
Potato clock. Yeah. Brilliant. Yeah, it certainly does deserve a little round of applause, I think.
Okay,
has to
good
be
on
said.
You.
Thank you, Stephen.
Okay, you're most welcome. Good night. Love your show.
Thank you. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye now. Bye-bye. I had no idea Stephen was going to say that. That is brilliant. Oh, had a call from Anna. She's that little clay pot thing you're talking about. It's called a potato oven. But are they still available, do we know? Can you still buy them? They were delish. Absolutely delish. Well, the pot wasn't, but the potatoes inside were. But you did have to make sure that you opened the lid every now and again and whooshed the old potatoes around and what have you. It was beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Very, very nice indeed. What have we got? What have we got? What have we got? A lot of people going for, mashed potatoes with things on. One from Derek here on the text, 07786 200 961. Derek's in Hove. He says, Paul, have you ever had a jacket potato with a little tiny bit of butter on the top and then put some bacon? gorgeous, beautiful. You can have it as a starter. You can even have it as a snack or a main meal at lunchtime if you wanted to. Very nice indeed. Also, what else have we got here? One from, I think that is Brenda. I can't quite see the whole text. I think it is. My apologies if not. Brenda, anyways, in Leatherhead. And she says, Paul, potatoes I use an awful lot in my house. My children love them. However, rather than getting bored, I do all sorts of things with them. Mashing potatoes and putting... Oh, this is interesting. Mashing potatoes and putting vegetables inside is something I've done for years. I used to do it when my eldest son was about 6 or 7. It was the only way I could get him to eat vegetables. Basically, you just mash potatoes in the usual way, but put some cooked peas, sweet corn, anything like that in, mix it all round together. He used to love it. I used to call it Tutti Frutti potato, and he liked Tutti Frutti ice cream, which looked very similar, so therefore he would eat it. The thing is, he is now nearly 36, and I still do it on a regular basis when he comes over to see me with his family. Works every time, and he's actually quite nice. You should try it, Paul. That sounds nice, actually. I like that. Tutti Frutti potato. So you've got ordinary mashed potato, make a mashed potato, and then put little bits of vegetable in, like bits of, well, as we just said there, bits of sweet corn, bits of potato, anything, bits of pea, sweet corn, anything that's small, mixed all up together. Be quite nice. Yeah. Rather than having, different piles of things on the table. I like that. That's pretty good. James says, Paul, have you ever put red onion on the top of your potato? If you haven't, you should. I've also had another one come through here from someone who hasn't put a name and said, cheese and red onion finely chopped on your mashed potato is rather nice. Rich from Newbury says, Paul, as a kid, we couldn't afford pumpkins for Halloween. My mum would always find a large potato, cut the face in the front, pop a candle in, worked every single time. Yeah, I suppose it would, really. And also, where was the other one? One from Judy from Worthing says, Paul, one of the nice ways of cooking potatoes is as follows. Give them a good wash, slice them thinly, lay them out in a dish, cover them... Oh, wait for this. Cover them with cream... Then put cheese on the top and then bake them in the oven until cooked. Absolutely delish. Ooh, it's gone 12:30. Paul Miller Show from the BBC in the South. We're asking you what you can do with potatoes. Apparently, research has shown we spend about £855 million on them a year. So what are we doing with them? How are we cooking them? Rather than just boiling them to death and shoving them on a plate. Some interesting suggestions coming through. Dave the Mad Trucker has sent a text through. Says, Paul, if the wipers give up on your old banger, cut a potato in half. Yep, cut a potato in half, and rub it up and down the window or the windscreen. And what it'll do is to help the water flow away because the starch. Apparently it works. Yeah, apparently it does. The best thing to do with leftover mashed potato is to make tatty scones, says Beryl the Yellow Peril, griddled on the old Rayburn and served hot with butter. Does sound nice. And a very interesting fact here from Richard in Chatham. You'll like this, particularly if you buy lots of crisps. He says, Paul, an interesting fact. If a bag of crisps contains 39 grams of plain crisps and costs 35 pence... that would mean that a kilo of potatoes should cost £875. Are we suggesting that crisps are quite expensive? I think we are. Let's go to Ashford and speak to Joan. Hi, Joan.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm fine, thanks.
Jolly good.
I've been listening to you all evening.
It's an interesting thought, isn't it, about the potatoes? If a packet of crisps is 35 pence, then...
Well, yes, and then put the fat on top.
Yeah.
And you're talking about an awful lot of money, aren't you?
A very expensive bag of spuds. Very much
right.
So. Yeah. So what do you do with yours, then?
Well, this cheese and potato that everybody talks about.
Yeah.
If you add an egg to it all...
Oh, yeah.
It then becomes cheese and potato pie.
Oh, so what do you actually do? Just cook
you,
them.
You mash your potato
Yeah.
with your salt, pepper, milk and butter.
Yeah.
Add cheese, and you drop an egg into it and give it a good beating.
Right.
With a wooden spoon.
Oh, I like the sound of that bit, yeah. Oh, yeah. What? I'm just thinking of give it a good whisking up. Nothing wrong with that, Joe.
No, I said beating.
Yeah, I know. I heard you, don't you worry.
And it becomes into cheese and potato pie.
And then you put it in the oven or something, or does it?
No. I mean, it's more of a children's meal than an adult meal, because then you add a tin of baked beans. Then you serve it, but you give it baked beans on top. So you have cheese and potato pie and baked beans.
Now I like the sound of that.
I thought you might.
That is something for 3 o'clock in the morning, isn't it? You know.
Oh, wait, yes, better than chocolate.
Yeah, well, I'd have that for afters.
Well,
you
yes,
know.
exactly.
But no, I do like the sound of that. Somebody, I can't remember when I tasted, but somebody gave me baked bean quiche to taste once, and that was very nice as well.
Oh, right. And of course, the other thing that is absolutely wonderful is something called stovies. Now, stovies is a Scottish dish.
Isn't that what you put your saucepans on and cook things on? Is that the old stovey?
Well, not with potato, slices of onion, salt and pepper, and water and milk. And you boil it until it's cooked and just cooked. And that is stovies.
Oh, and do you eat it by itself, or...?
No, you eat it with haggis.
Oh, that's vile.
But
haggis is
that's the English version.
Disgusting.
That's the English version. Now, the Scottish version is that you add mince, beef mince.
Yes.
And you add that to it as well, but that isn't very nice. But the English version is nice, and you just drain off a little bit of the liquid, but you leave a bit of liquid.
No, you don't have to have the haggis, though, do you?
No, because you can have a chop with it, or
well, that's better.
you can have it like you'd have potatoes or something else, but possibly something that you might have gravy with. But instead of making gravy, you have the liquid from the the potato and milk.
Yes.
And actually, that is really nice.
Oh no, it's sounding better now you've taken away the haggis.
Well, have it with gammon. A gammon steak or something like that.
Yeah, that's a lot nicer.
It's really nice. And I'll tell you another thing. Celeriac,
Yeah.
Mashed in with mashed potato is absolutely something to...
Oh, now that sounds nice.
Yeah, it's something to die for, actually.
Oh, yeah, I could go for that.
Well, yeah, I thought you might.
Because those potatoes are going to be out when I get in. I can see that that cooker's going to be on. That cooker will be well and truly on.
And I'm afraid that me personally, I eat probably about 2 potatoes a week.
Well, you're not adding to this £855 million, are you?
Well, no, but I have three very large men.
Ah, well.
2 teenagers who eat me out of potatoes.
I was going to say they probably make up for it.
Well, that's right.
They probably do.
And of course, there's always the wedge potatoes with that you just chop up ordinary potatoes with their skins on, give them a good wash, chop them up like you would sort of chips or something like that, so that they're all sort of wedgy. Put them in the oven with a bit of oil and what we call garlic surprise, which is garlic and herb. And you throw it all over there and give them a quick, put them in the oven. And then after about 10 minutes, you then turn them all over so that they get well and truly garlic and herbed.
Oh, they sound
and
nice.
They are, well, actually, yes, I say when I make them, that I have to make double portion because they're lovely cold and hot.
You should be ashamed of yourself. Absolutely ashamed. No, they do sound nice, though, I have to say.
Well, they are. They're lovely.
Yeah, very nice.
I'm not ashamed because, well, everybody's allowed a quick burst of anything, aren't they?
I allow everybody a little burst whenever they require, Joe. Don't you worry.
Well, exactly. A quick burst of wedge potatoes, hot and cold, and I'm happy with a burst anytime.
Yeah, me too. It's got to be done.
I listen to you and Chocolate, and I think...
Have another burst?
He's having another burst, and actually, Not me, thank you.
I should be having one later with these ginger nuts. They're going to be open any minute now.
Well, have one for me.
I will do that with pleasure. Lovely to speak to you. Thank you.
Talk soon.
Yeah,
Bye.
take care, my love. Bye-bye now. Bye-bye. There's Joan from Ashford. Oh, they sounded nice, didn't they? In fact, all of that sounded nice. All on the same plate. All piled up nice and high. Yum, 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 yum. George in Maidstone. Hello, George.
Evening, Paul. I like haggis, I'm afraid.
Oh, no.
Yes.
I tasted it some years ago. We were doing a piece here years and years ago, and I used to work on another programme, and somebody came in and they bought the haggis, and it was a proper haggis as well. And there it was, and I looked at it, I thought, oh, no, I've got to taste this. But they were telling me, you know, just forget about what it is, ignore what it looks like and all the rest of it, just get bladders out of your mind and you'll be fine.
I used to have mine sent from Edinburgh, where
What, your bladder?
The best haggis.
Oh, the haggis. I was going to say, some sort of medical condition, you know. But no, I tasted it and I just could not get on with it. I wouldn't say it was disgusting, but it was not nice. And I think a lot of it was mind over matter, bearing in mind what it is.
Anyway, back to the potato.
Yes. I prefer talking about potatoes than old bladders.
Corned beef hash mashed with potatoes. You cook the potatoes first and then mix in the corned beef.
All right.
Add loads of mushrooms, chopped finely, and garlic. And then bake it in the oven with tomatoes on top.
Oh, now that sounds nice.
Sliced tomatoes
yeah,
on
that
top.
does sound nice. And that is something. That sounds like something that would be very nice on a cold day when you want something that's a real guilty pleasure and that's good for you and nice and warming and you can look forward to it.
Oh, it's delicious. Yeah, especially with plenty of garlic. Yes.
But the old guy keep the vampires away. Yeah, quite right. Is that something that you made up, George, or just something that
No,
you...
it's something we've always liked both, and
Yeah.
we just have it every week. There's other Wednesday or Thursday we have it.
Oh, regular thing.
Yes.
And in actual fact, it's quite good for you as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
There isn't really anything in there that's bad, because most things that are nice are bad for you. But that's good. Potatoes are good and vegetables are good and what have you. So
1.5 pounds of potatoes between two of us.
why not? Why not? Keep the cold out, George. Keep the cold. And you know, we were talking earlier on about different types of potatoes. When you buy your spuds, I mean, do you look at different varieties or do you just buy whatever like most people?
We just have reds when we can.
You like reds? I quite like reds as well. They've got a nice flavour to them, haven't they?
Yeah.
I'm sure
And
they...
this other meal would suit you with
Go on.
potatoes. It's Grand Marnier mixed with chocolate biscuits.
Oh, yeah.
And then grate potato.
Oh, yeah.
Into a pan and give it all so you have a nice sauce.
Oh, yeah, I'll give it something, yeah. Ooh, now that is more than a guilty pleasure. That's an adult guilty pleasure. That has got to be done. Plenty of Grand Marnier in there.
Yes, yes. And you could also have on the side potato balls with sesame seeds baked in the oven.
Oh, that sounds interesting.
Make little balls of mashed potato and bake them in the oven with sesame seeds.
That could be a nice starter, couldn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, that sounds ever so posh. Oh, potato balls with sesame for starters. Oh, lovely. Do pass the Grand Marnier. Oh, I don't mind if I do.
I mean, the potato is so versatile.
Well, this is the interesting thing, which is why I said to Neil, you know, I've got to just find out what people do with them, because you can do, well, so much, as we've discovered.
I mean, Christmas dinner, I have hard-boiled potatoes.
Yeah.
And then a separate plate completely with all my roast stuff. So I have roast potatoes and parsnips, and so I have 3 plates at Christmas time.
I'm not saying a word. I am not saying a word, but I shall probably think all the more. George, nice to speak to you. Thank you.
Right, good night, Paul.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye now. Bye-bye. There is George. That sounded nice at the old balls, the sesame seeds. Ever so posh. Oh, yes, very posh. MM from Winchester says, Paul, try this one. Baked potato, Marmite and bacon. Absolutely gorgeous. Does sound nice, I have to say. Rich in Guildford said, Paul, leftover roasties chopped up with the other leftover vegetables, or fried with a generous helping of butter, salt and pepper. Simple yet delicious. That probably would be, actually. That does sound rather nice. What else have we got here? Let me see. Oh, Richard from Chatham says, Paul, I should have said $8.75 per kilo, not $875. Okay, I'm glad to see that nobody else's maths was working either, including mine. Sylvia says, Paul, best way to do a jacket potato I've often found is to wrap it in kitchen paper, put it in the microwave for about 5 minutes till it's soft, then in the hot oven for 10 minutes, then it's all nice and crispy. You might just shove it in the oven and be done with it, really, mightn't you, I suppose? But certainly an idea. And also Alan from Parkstone, he says, mashed potatoes mashed with corned beef is nice. See, I'm a strange person. I don't like corned beef, so I wouldn't be going there. But I can imagine it probably will be quite nice. And also, Paul, what about crab claws? Superb. Fantastic dish with a nice potato salad. Smacktacular. That's from John Colby and Ross from Brighton, listening to Southern Counties. Nice to have you with us, guys. Thanks very much indeed. Crab claws. That's a bit posh, isn't it? Good grief. June in Fareham, I bet it's nice though, I love crabs. June in Fareham says, mashed potato, topped with grated cheese, then sliced tomato and sliced onion under the grill till the topping has browned. That'll get the old juices flowing. It probably will. And also, you know, we were talking earlier on about not cooking with potatoes, but rubbing them on your windscreen to stop the rain and what have you. Well, a few people have rung through and said you can also put it onto motorcycle helmet visors to stop it from misting up. You can also rub it, I think, on a bathroom mirror, I once read, you know, like a shaving mirror. And if you've got the steam in the bathroom, it stops it from misting. In fact, yes, I did. I think it was on one of those programs on the telly where they show you how to do things, and you know these books you get from Reader's Digest that tell you strange things to do with household products. I think the same is true there. It does work. A couple more of them have a song, I think. Pat from Worthing says, some years ago they used to make potato ice cream. Ooh, that sounds gross. We don't go there. No, thank you. Potato dolphins from Meg in Mepham. Not quite sure what that is. Potato dolphins. Don't know what you do with those. Joyce in Portsmouth says, cook new potatoes in the oven with caramelised onions. That is very, very nice. Oh, yes. And Penny from Southampton says, the baked bean quiche thing was made on this programme last year. I do remember now. It was Mark, our chef, who came in, was it last year or the year before, and cooked it. Now, I do remember that one. Yes, I do. And a quickie from Marjorie in Bassett says, mashed up tinned salmon in potato, pour the spare juice away, grill the whole thing. It is absolutely gorgeous. Just gone 10 to 1, Paul Miller Show from the BBC in the South. We are almost out of time. We've been asking you in this last part of the programme, though, what you can do with potatoes, that's broadcastable, that is. We eat so many of them, this research has found, and I don't doubt for 1 minute you'll be hearing this all over the place tomorrow. It'll be in the newspapers and goodness knows what. But if you have just joined us, we spend approximately in this country £855 million a year on potatoes. We eat lots of them, so what do we do with them? Apart from just bake the things or boil them and whatever. Some interesting ones coming through here, various recipes and that sort of thing. We'll go to Gillingham, speak to Dave. Hello, Dave.
Hello, Paul.
How you doing?
Yes, all right. And you?
Good, very well indeed.
Oh, good.
So what are you doing with your spuds?
Right, if you part boil them,
yeah,
and then slice them fairly thickly, and then roll them in batter.
Oh, right.
And deep fat fry them, and they come out as potato fritters.
Oh, right. So you cook them a little bit first?
Yes.
So they're not too soft, so you can still cut the things?
That's right, so they don't crumble or anything.
Right.
And then roll them in, dip them in batter.
Uh-huh.
Fairly thick batter, so that it sticks quite thickly.
Yes.
And then deep fat fry them.
And I suppose also, Dave, you could put you could put something else in there as well, couldn't you? With the potato.
Put herbs or spices on them.
Maybe even a bit of bacon or something.
That's right. You can eat them. I mean, they're quite filling on their own. But,
that's true.
You can have them with like bacon or an egg or anything like that. Yeah.
And the other thing is that's not something that is particularly difficult. So if you get the midnight munchies, as we frequently do,
that's right,
and you get the cravings for Dave's potato fritters, you can just throw them together in a relatively short period of time.
That's right. And my grandchildren like them. If they come in from school and
they've had a school dinner or something,
Yes.
but they want something a bit more substantial than just
Yes.
a sandwich or something, and do them a few of those, and they like them.
And quite good for, well, apart from the batter.
Well,
the
that's right.
You know, the potato is good for you.
Yeah.
And in actual fact, it reminds me in some ways of the Tutti Frutti potato I spoke of earlier. The lady who emailed through saying that she got her children to eat vegetables by mixing it up in the potato and calling it Tutti Frutti potato.
Yeah.
And there the kids were, and they're now well into their 30s and still having it because they just like it so much.
That's right.
I do like the sound of that.
If you put something into the batter like that, you know, like parsley or something like that into the batter.
Oh yeah.
Or even mint. Mix into the batter, and then just deep fat fry it.
That sounds scrummy.
Yeah.
Was that something that you concocted up, or what?
No, it's something that my mum used to do years ago. When we were kids, you know.
And it stayed with you?
It stayed with me, you know.
Very nice.
I've had them, my kids have had them, now my grandchildren are having them.
And I think a lot of other people will be after hearing about them, Dave, as well. Enjoy.
Well, they're quick and they're quite filling.
Yeah, exactly. That's a good thing. And I've said on a few occasions tonight, if you have one of those nights where, I don't know, maybe you've been out and you've been partying or whatever, and you want something substantial before you go to bed, or you've got the midnight munchies, something like that is easy and it's quite good for you, and it's better than a packet of crisps.
That's right. Yeah, yeah.
I can see it
they're quite yummy.
On a cold winter's night, you know.
Yeah.
Cuddle up with some fritters.
That's right.
Got to be done.
Yeah.
Dave, thank you very much.
Okay. Paul.
Nice to speak to you. Take care.
And to you too. Take care.
Bye-bye now.
Bye.
Bye-bye. There's Dave from Gillingham. Anne rung through from Herne Bay and says jacket potato with coleslaw and cheese is very, very nice. Vic rung through from Cliftonville and said, what about cutting the potatoes in half, chopping out shapes and using them to paint with? I think Neil said he used to do that when he was at school. But there again, you know, he's a lot older than the rest of us. Nikki says, Paul, best thing to do with spuds is to boil them, then lightly fry them with curry sauce and spices. That is just to die for. And it does sound nice. And then Diane from Farnborough says, my mother is from Scotland, and when we have boiled potatoes, you add an onion. I think they call them stovey potatoes or something like that, and they are really, really nice because the potato has sort of like an onion flavour to it. Never tasted that, actually. And also a couple of quickies here, because we're almost out of time here. James in Horndean says, Paul, I went into hospital, and whilst I was in there, I had a potato and egg every single day. Really, really loved it. It was really good. It was the only thing that I was allowed to have, and certainly kept me going. Does it deserve a bug? No, it doesn't. And also, Oscar says, Paul, tonight I'm afraid you've done it again. I am now in the kitchen. Oven is on. Roast potatoes on the go. It has his king. Loved and still do. So as far as we go for tonight, though, we are out of time. Thanks for your calls, as always, your emails and your texts. Always nice to hear from you. And, of course, we should be doing it all again tonight or tomorrow, whichever you prefer. Back here just after 10 for Thursday night's programme. Penultimate Taxi, your chance to be one of my bugs. Some fun and games, a little natter on the old phones, and, of course, a stack of tunes as well. For now, though, from myself, Paul Miller, from Neil and the rest of the gang, it's bye-bye for now. You take care. Bye-bye now.